Hello there, my name is Chinenye. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we'll be discussing about a positive mindset. Yes, positive mindset. What is a positive mindset? What are the characteristics of a positive mindset? So a positive mindset is what is positive. For positive means being in agreement, being in the affirmative, that being saying like a yes, something that is positive means a yes, in affirmative to something, in affirmative to a situation, in affirmative to a concept. That is what a positive, being positive is. Then mindset, this is the mind. The mind is the center or the bedrock of everything going on around us, our thoughts, our emotions, our decisions, our attitude. The mind controls everything we do. So a mindset is a positive mindset now is you as an individual deliberately choosing to be affirmative in your thoughts, in your emotions, in your attitudes towards events, towards happenings around you, rather than the opposite. So in a nutshell, being positive mindset, it's not an easy trait to keep up. It's not an easy trait to keep up with this being positive, even in the midst of so many negative happenings around you. But you can actually decide to be, you can actually decide or control your mind to do those things you would rather or you would prefer to do, even in the midst of negative things. We know with the hardship around us, with so many happenings around, with so many trends going on, sometimes we might be swayed into following the norm, into following the mass. But I dare you today to choose to be positive minded, even with everything going on around you. So now let's talk about what are the characteristics of a positive minded person. The characteristics of a positive minded person is you worry over nothing. Even it is said in the Bible that we should worry over nothing, but in prayer and thanksgiving, we should raise our supplications to God. No matter what you think or how much you think you can worry solves nothing. Worry has no impact and no benefit on the situation. Worry rather leaves you anxious, leaves you helpless, leaves you irritated, leaves you agitated, and so on. So why worry if you know that worry, or when you know that worry will actually not change the situation? So why worry? So another thing, the trait of a characteristics person is always act with a grateful heart. Always act with a grateful heart and always be grateful too. Yes, it is said that the little things that we take for granted that are actually those things that are dear to people's hearts. Even when you want to ask your neighbor, your colleague, even to God, ensure to be grateful for the ones they've done, no matter how little it is. You might be like, okay, you didn't give me money, you didn't give me a gift, you didn't give me this. Maybe you're looking for something very big, but the fact that that person was able to give you their time, for you to rant over, for you to whine, for you to, or just be there with you, it's enough to be thankful. Time is precious. Time is actually money. So be grateful for no matter what little thing you think that person has done for you, be grateful. And when you're grateful about things and also grateful to God, you find that you see things in a different limelight. For every day you wake up, it's a day, but it's enough to be grateful to God. We do not own our life. We do not own whatever happens to us the next minute. We do not own charge of the fact that our alarm can wake us up. That is a lie. Your alarm can actually be there but would not be able to wake you up if you're a dead person. So why now take it for granted? We should always be grateful for every and any little thing will come across, will find out around us. That would help us to always keep a positive mindset. Another way to do this is always be at peace with God and your neighbor. Always be at peace. There's this thing called empathy. If you know that if this thing is done to you, you wouldn't like it, then do not do it to your neighbor. If you know that, like, before you do things, think it through to yourself. If I'm in this person's shoe, how would I feel? How would I take this? Put the person in your shoes first before you act, and that way you would be at peace with people. That way you wouldn't hurt your neighbor, you wouldn't hurt your colleague, you wouldn't hurt the next person next to you. So ensure you're always at peace with yourself, and that way you're always at peace with God too. Because when you're at peace with your neighbor, you don't hurt your neighbor, you don't make your neighbor vexed. You find out that so many things you do, you always would be in alignment with what God wants. So always ensure that you are at peace with your neighbor, and that way you also be at peace with yourself. Because when you hurt somebody, or you're keeping malice in quotes, you see that it keeps biting. For every minute, for every moment you see that person, you lose a bit, your mind skips, you lose a heartbeat. That is you stressing yourself. So always ensure you're at peace with your neighbor, and that way with yourself, and that keeps you in a good and in a positive minded state. Another way is fill your mind with those things that are good and deserving of praise. Even inside this Bible, fill your mind with those things that are deserving of praise, that are true, that are noble, that are pure, that are lively and honorable. Ensure you keep your minds clean, free from hate, free from backbiting, free from malice, free from jealousy, free from envy, free from whatever vice, free from pride. Keep your minds and your hearts noble. Let those things that go through your heart be those things that are noble, those things that are pure, those things that are uplifting, those things that are inspiring to those around you. Let people see you and be inspired. Let people see you and see the radiation of everything awesome and beautiful around you. Let people see you and smile. Let people see you and be at peace with themselves. That is what you should strive towards, because that way you find out that when you let go of every vice, let go of hate, you find out that you feel better with yourself, you feel better in yourself. You have this inner peace, you have this rest of mind, this peace of mind that flows in you without being in at first with anything happening around you. So another point we should think, or the characteristics of a positive minded person, is put into practice everything you've learned and received, both in words and action. It is not enough to speak, it is not enough to talk, it's not enough to hear or listen to so many of these talks going up here and there. I'm very sure that this is not the first time you're hearing this thing about being positive. It's not the first time, but it's one thing to hear or listen, is another to actually put it into practice. So how do we do this? It's to be intentional and make a conscious effort to let these things you've heard lay down in your mind and choose or decide to live by it one day at a time. It's not something that can just happen all of a sudden, but when you have the self-control and you're deliberate about these things one day at a time, you find out that you feel better, you find out that these things become a part of you, become to stay, you live it every day. Even at sometimes, yes, you could make a mistake, you could fall apart, but you deciding to pick yourself up and move forward and live above those your limitations, those your hurtful feelings, those your hate, those bad side of you, or those things that you do not want or you want to let go of. The fact that you pick up yourself above them and try again makes you a better person. But when you fall and you remain there, that makes you a loser. And to say that losers never win. Yes, winners never quit, and quitters never win. So when you fall, you try to lift yourself up or pick yourself up, dust off yourself and try again. You keep trying until you become that better person you want to be. So this is my tips on how, or characteristics of a positive minded person. And when you put all these things into practice, you find out that most times you smile, you smiling, it comes easily. You don't fight it again because you're at peace with yourself. You're being grateful with things. You allow things that comes into you to be noble and true and pure things. You find out that you radiate more peace, you radiate more energy and joy and laughter and smile in around you always, because you've gone past that hateful period. You've got by those mood swings and all that. On some days might be low, but you'll be able to push up yourself and forge ahead and be a better person you want to be. So these are my top tips on how to stay positive regardless anything that are going up to you, and the characteristics you're going to portray to be able to remain a positive mindset. Just keep watching. On my next video we'll talk more on how this affects our day-to-day activities. Thank you for watching. I hope you got value from this video. If you're new to my channel, thank you for watching, and please kindly hit on the subscribe button and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you have not done so up till now, yes, I said click on the subscribe button and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit on the notification bell so that you get to know anytime I upload a new video. Thank you so much for watching, and remember to always stay healthy and create your happy place. Thank you. Bye for now.